Hello friends, welcome back to another episode of Software Inc. So when we left off, we finally got our gaming and our designers and our creativity all set and ready. Just smacked my mic, but finally it is all done, which is just amazing, which means we can actually move on. So like I said, we released our 3D editor yesterday or last month, and we are doing pretty well in sales here. Same with our 2D and our 3D. We got our 3D updated with the latest tech that first month, which is awesome. Yeah, if we go ahead and take a look at our distribution here, we can go sort by prints sold. World Conqueror 3, Cowboy 4, but pretty much all of this down, which is kind of like our most recent, have not been doing great in sales. So now that we have the quality actually up and where it's supposed to be, the next thing we can do is start porting it. So if we do our ports by release date, our releases I should say, we have we have people not playing these games. So it would make sense for us to take everything in this decade, so down to 2007. So from here, World Conqueror up, and make sure that it's ported to everything that we want it to be ported to. And we're just going to do everything that's close to 1 million users. So our port jobs are up and running, our games are up and running. Let's go ahead and take a look at expanding. So if we take a look at our plots of land here, it looks like we should probably buy this one because people are cutting across the parking lot like crazy to get over here. So I think we'll buy this one. And the reason I want to buy a new building is if we are going to do our operating system and hardware for that printing, then it would make sense to put that in a whole new space. So let's get into it, start our building. Let's buy a plot. We're gonna buy this one, and let's zoom into this plot and clear it out. Looking at it, our doors are closest to right here. So I would like to do the entrance, this first floor, just be a giant shipping printing factory, and then the second floor being for our teams. So let's get into the speed build. Hello from the future. How are you guys doing today? It is a crazy time at my work right now. I work in retail, and back to school season really kicks our butt. But I'm hoping that doesn't interfere with my upload schedule too much, but you know, if next week things are a little bit crazy, it's because I am picking up some overtime, which is always nice. So I didn't really have an inspiration for this speed build. If anything, I was just thinking about how nice the prefab building is in this game, the printing warehouse that they have for us. Basically, the first 2 floors are just open garage space with some distribution ports in it, and it's really simple, and then up above it is where you build your offices and all that kind of stuff. So if I had any inspiration for this build, it was definitely that. So you can see I'm building my garage bay doors here already, getting that all set up and ready, and then I am placing an elevator and a stairs because I found out that actually placing that stuff like elevators, super useful. We love to see it. Yeah, so I'm just building a box upstairs, keeping with the same color theme. I'm deciding to place those. Not really sure what I want to do with the layout particularly, or how big I need the space to be, so I'm just kind of winging it right now and looking around, and I decided having those in the middle of the room really was a bad use of space, because that means we had to create a hallway, and maybe if this was going to be more than one team in this building, that would make sense, but I decided against it, and so we're just building our stairs and our elevator over here, and just hoping that the stairs don't glitch out being right there. So now we have this nice square space. Go ahead and put that in a smaller little office that's not in the center of our floor plan, which I think you guys can agree with me is probably the better option. I'm kind of guesstimating on how big of an office space we need. I didn't really look ahead of time to see how many people we would need to have in the building for our team, so that's what I'm doing right now. Is I'm just like, okay, let's say theoretically we're building an operating system. How many employees does it suggest that we have? Because we can build the console, we could build a computer one, but I think the computer operating system actually is the biggest team size that you need for that. So I'm just going through and checking. I'm like, okay, 21 employees plus the leader. So we need at least 22 desks in this space. So I go into the office building tab, if I can find it. And then I just start laying out some desks and just trying to think about where I want them to be. You know me, I'm not very creative when it comes to the actual furniture in the office buildings. If you guys have played Software Inc., you know that there's a little bit of a learning curve when it comes to the building mode of it, but also at the same time, it is pretty intuitive, especially once you know the keyboard shortcuts. So I built this room a little bit funky. Things weren't really like lining up appropriately, but I figured if we had two sets of table desks facing each other, that would allow space for more people, more team members. So just placing everything, making sure everything is okay, checking, okay, 25. There's 25 desks, so we can definitely have 22 employees in here, and maybe even some extras if we're like lacking in one area. So I'm just placing all of the chairs where I think they need to go, making sure, and I'm like, wait a minute. You see how close those chairs are in that row right there? That is sussy, real sussy. So I decide to go ahead and move those back a bit. Just checking, I'm like 24 chairs. Oh yeah, because I deleted that one so that way there was space by the door still. But still plenty of room for all of the employees that we could possibly need. So I'm placing all of this, and somewhere in this speed build, I discovered that I actually ended up building this on a quarter grid, not the full grid, which is why things weren't lining up quite the way that I wanted them to. So yeah, it was funky, it was strange. So I'm adding some windows because that's gonna help them with lights. And then I realized I hadn't had the chair in the right space, so I moved the chair over, adding some lights, all the basic stuff. So the idea of having these separate buildings obviously is trying to keep them independent from each other. When we have that city block in our original plot of land, it's okay for them to share heating and air conditioning and all that kind of stuff, but you kind of have to build it from scratch when you're doing a new plot. Theoretically, you can, I believe if you go down to the basement, the lots are combined, so you could do a sneaky utility hallway that just combines the two buildings if you're really hurting on electric and gas bills and all that kind of stuff. But I wasn't planning on making this building super tall or super big, obviously. So I just kind of wanted to give it its own gas heater and its own air conditioning unit, so that way we didn't have to worry about it. Then we were left with this kind of space, this little T-junction. It's part hallway, part something else. I knew that they needed to have restrooms, obviously, because they will throw a temper tantrum. Oh, this is when I figured it out. I was like, wait a second. Why are those rooms so small? Oh my gosh, this whole thing is built on a weird grid. What did I do? Oh my god. Anyway, so yeah, I push everything out, and then I have to reconfigure and rejig everything because they're all off by a quarter tile or something. But I'm curious to know if you guys have tried this kind of bathroom hack in your guys' own builds. Do you prefer to do this style, or do you like to have each stall be kind of self-sufficient and that it has the sink in the stalls, or do you like this kind of separated stalls thing? In my first playthrough of building this, it really worked out. I didn't get the notification that people had to pee. But in this playthrough, obviously that's been a notification that I've gotten quite a bit, and I think that just has to do with the tiny kind of builds, the tall, tiny ones. you never know what's going to actually like clip into or make a room inaccessible. So when you have it more spread out like this, I think it works a lot better. And I also think it's nice just because that way people can still use the restroom, like the actual toilets, and, you know, wash their hands afterwards. So when I was left with this space, I was like, okay, well, they need their own dining hall. Theoretically, they need their own little office meeting room space too, but I think having their own eating area is more important. You know, it does take them about 2 hours to have a meeting, and they usually do it like at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, which isn't great. But if I don't designate this room as a canteen, then they can use it for meetings as well as eating their lunch, which is really useful. And since I didn't want to mess around with tying rooms for chefs again, and I've been getting the notification that they've been like over cooking food and that the chefs don't have anything to cook, I was like, let's just keep it real simple. Everybody bring their own lunch. Or we have like, you know, refrigerators available to make your own lunch, some coffee machines, and just kind of take a step back from all the intricate details you can create. I did decide to spice it up with some rugs though. Very fancy. Wow. So yeah, going back to this room, I decided this is going to be our green office. Every wall is green. Our desks are green, okay? Green is a relaxing color. It's very good for you to see green. It's scientifically proven. So we just went with it. And I decided to have this downstairs room as kind of like a lobby waiting room, not only for our delivery drivers to wait to pick up their products, hopefully at the closer couch than in the main building, but it also would serve as like kind of a resting, break room? Yeah, a break room for our employees that are working there. So we're gonna get some couches, some TVs, make it nice and relaxing, some water coolers, all that good stuff. And yeah, so do you guys like these speed builds? What do you do when you don't feel the inspiration for your speed builds? Do you just download them from the gallery? Because that's usually what I do. All right, well, see ya in a minute. Bye-bye. Okay, so short little speed build just because we have the building. Obviously, we have enough retail space to expand when we're ready for it. And then after looking at the operating system team necessary, it's going to be about 21, 22. So there's 24 chairs in this office building. And then I just made them a cute little, tiny little bathroom and canteen, not really even a full kitchen, to help them out there. Okay, so let's go ahead and start our console operating system. What would a girl boss name her operating system? Probably The Secret, right? That's like elusive. You could join us finding the secret at. Let's go ahead and put the price down to $299.99. Okay. The server is going to be on distribution, and let's jump into, let's hit advanced. Let's go ahead and jump into design. So let's do something sleek and nice. Ooh, I like that. Okay. Actually, I kind of like it as is. Let's go ahead and try to make this, it's curvy. We love a top-heavy queen. Okay, I think this is it. We'll hit OK on that. So that is all set up and ready. Let's click next. Joystick add-on. Since it's an add-on, we should be able to release a controller once it's closer to being finished. Speed boost, blue, blue, blue. Okay, so I overfilled that room by a lot, but that's okay. Let's hit next. Let's auto balance it. Like I said, 19% wasted interest, but I didn't even go all out really, so that's fine. 109 million consumers, pretty good. Okay, and let's take a look at our lead designers. Maybe we'll have Luann Murphy head this up. And then let's go ahead and start making ourselves a team. We'll do a new team. We're going to do console operating system. I'm going to add that. Then let's find it here and go to HR management. So we should start down here. Salary, we'll go for a high salary. We want this to be well. We want to do well. We want big brain and we don't want anybody to break their computer. Specializations. Let's go ahead and unclick all. So we are going to need somebody in system, hardware, 2D, 3D, audio, and network. Hit OK for that. And we're going to need 10 programmers, 6 designers, and 1 artist. Okay, we're going to go ahead and keep the budget at 1 million since we're hiring a bunch of fancy people. And yeah, let's see if our console operating system can handle it. We'll do core and we'll do console. How's that? Let's also add core onto there. Okay. And let's hit. This isn't. Wait a minute. Oh, I got rid of the girl who was good. Okay, well, we'll just have Snuggly do it, I guess. Let's hit develop on that. Oh, we do have to pick a joystick design. Ew. Disgusting. Get that away, random. No. No. She cute. Let's go ahead and, Alright, she cute. We like her. We like her. Okay, hit OK on that. Pro controller, the price is going to be 25. SCM. Design teams, of course, is going to be core and console. Okay, let's go ahead and hit develop. What do we have here? Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and put you on console and we'll hire that person, then go to our teams, go to employees, change role to a leader, and then auto role, and then change. Okay, perfect, perfect. Okay, perfect. Okay, and then the last thing we need to do is go ahead and switch this team to the console operating system. And that should be up and ready, and we should have that working. So we have our console up and ready, going very slowly. And once we get closer to actually printing, we can go ahead and start once we get closer, we could start creating our manufacturing space for that. Okay, so our first person shooter just released. Nell Holland has been narrowed down to 69%, so above average, but he made a bad game. No, why can we never get anybody in our first person shooters? Okay, let's scroll up to our first person shooter right here. Oh, Nell Holland. Who the heck is Nell Holland? What the heck? Well, you shouldn't have even been on that. I'm so confused. Options. Maybe because they did a bad one. Let's go look at our employees. Game first-person shooter employees. Lead, no Hansen. Why aren't you heading this up? You're supposed to be the person in charge of it. Are you not the lead designer? Who is this? Nell Holland? Portfolio. Call of War and Call of War 2. Oh, there we go. Let's give it to no Hansen. Oh, do I have to do that for every single person? No way. Options, lead designer. Info. Meryl O'Connor, lead designer. Info. Who's doing this one then? Me? No, I don't want you to be the lead designer. Options. Okay, they have not started Cowboy 6 yet. Oh my god. Are you kidding me? I'm flabbergasted. Okay, well, looks like I have to keep my eyes out peeled for that. Maybe as they like roll over and get released, then it will be okay. It's so frustrating. Anyways, so it's been about a year since we started creating the secret console. We are making pretty good progress. We're on our 3rd iteration. We're just waiting on some system help, so we could probably assign our port team to that to help out. But I am going to go ahead and leave this part here. Thank you so much for joining me on this Let's Play series. I am having a blast playing this, and it seems like you guys are enjoying it as well. As always, there is a link to all my social media, as well as my social media, including my sticker shop, my TikTok, and my Patreon, where for $3 a month you can help support the channel and get your name on the end credits. If you have other tier options that you are interested in, absolutely let me know. But if you want to support me for free, I would really appreciate that if you would just like, share, comment on the video, and subscribe to my channel. All that really helps out the YouTube algorithm and gets my content in front of more people's faces. So until I see you guys again, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.